guys, welcome back to Barker-Stargazer's YouTube channel, where we do, well, let's face it, I think all I do now is crochet. So that's what we're going to do again today. But today we are going to go with a challenge from Ribbler. Now Ribbler, if you don't know it, it's kind of like a mash between Radley and Tumblr. So it's got like blog style posts on it, people can sell their patterns and everything. I mean, I only found it like a couple of weeks ago, so I've put myself up there. I haven't actually put any patterns up yet, but what I found are these challenges that keep appearing. I was a little late for the March challenge, but the April challenge is quite interesting, and we're going to be doing that this video. So what it is that we have to take this free egg pattern and create something with it. But from what I'm seeing of the rules is that the actual egg shape itself needs to be like the main focus. So what I thought I would do is use the egg as sort of a jigsaw piece, because the rules state you are allowed to create pieces to go with the egg, or you can decorate the egg. But what I thought I would do is I would crochet multiple eggs and use them to form some sort of jigsaw to create a piece with them. So I'm going to start off by just crocheting the pattern in various sizes of yarn weight and hook size, and then go on from there. So I'm going to put you into time lapse straight away to get on with the making of the egg itself. So we've got one done with an 8 hook, one with a 6, one with a 4.5, one with a 3, and one with a 1.25. So what I've done is I've started with double knit for the 3, doubled it up for the 4.5, tripled it for the 6, quadrupled it for the 8, but obviously I had to go down to a particularly thin yarn to do this one. I don't think I have to have them stuffed. There are a few shapes I could work with. Okay, right, sketch pad. Maybe a bird. It's gonna be a fish. We had Here's the winner. Look at that. That's just adorable. So that bee will be actually stitched into place on the flower. The flower's just going to be this bit here, and it's going to like sit on the desk. The bee will be 3 pieces. This piece, and it will be striped. Yeah, that way around. And there'll be grey here, be a stripe of yellow, black, yellow, and then black for the head. And I'm going to use this deeper yellow for that. Bee wings, they're going to be in the micro. Right, first thing I'm going to do is I am going to crochet another wing in this micro crochet, because the thought of doing it just fills me with dread. I am not good with micro crochet. It makes my shoulder hurt. Does anybody else get that? So I have the wings done. They took immense concentration doing this with such a tiny hook, which I'm glad to say they're now put back in the drawer. Right, so they're the bee wings. Bzzz. I'm going to move on to the bee now. So you can see here me plotting out the colour changes where they're going to be on the bee section. I'm going to use the 3mm hook, so just one strand of double knit yarn. Okay, so I've got the bee body here. Now I am happy with this first stripe here, but not so much with the second one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to frog back, and I'm going to set the stripe about 3 rows back. Alright, so I've just frogged back here to row 19. I'm going to switch to a grey here and then continue to finish the bee in grey, just to give it a bit more definition for the stinger. Okay, so there is our completed base. I'm going to make a start on the flower now. I'm going to do the centre of the flower first. And I decided that that needed to be in the 4.5 hook. So that is the 2 strand. So that's this. I'm going to start, here I'll show you. I'm going to start in the yellow and then switch to the green. I'm going to switch to green at about round 8, but as you can see from the bee, that could change. Right, I'm on the centre part of the flower now, and I have actually done the first 8 rounds in yellow, so round 9 is going to be where I am switching to my green. If you are following my instructions, you do not need to do the colour change the way I'm doing it. Simply switch to green on this row or on the next one. Now what I'm going to do, because I'm at the last stitch, is I'm not going to colour change the last stitch. I'm simply going to do it fully in green and then move straight on to the next stitch. This is round 10, so this is just another round of complete stitches. So and also what you can do to really neaten this up is on the last stitch of this round in the new colour, you can actually, instead of putting it here, put it in the stitch below, and that can help even things out even further. So you can see how straight this is going to be now, because this stitch is now, the next stitch will be here. Now on the B, I didn't put that lower stitch in that I've just shown you, and you can see here the slight, see here the jaggedness. Yeah, I say slight, it is very wonky on that one, but I say I'm not too concerned about that, because that's going to be the side that's connected to the flower. So I am going to be making 4 of the petals now in a size 8 hook, so I will be needing 6 strands of yarn. Now, originally planned to have sort of a gradient using different amounts of white and purple throughout to get this gradient going on the petal. However, when I've looked at the colours I actually have, I don't have enough to do what I originally planned. So I have got all of these pinks and purples on the same sort of colour palette. I'm going to weigh them, and then I'm going to distribute them equally between each petal, and then whatever's left I'll fill in with the white. So I need to weigh this, and I need to weigh these, and then I need to get my calculating brain on. Right, adding up all of the colours we've got here, all of these purples and pinks, we actually come to a higher weight than what we actually require. I mean, that's hoping that my maths is all right. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take out this pink, the rose pink at 72 grams, and I'm going to replace that with the white. So now I just need to divide all this yarn up, get my right measurements kind of going, and go from there. So here I've started putting together all of the different strands of yarn. I took the time to divide each colour for each petal up again, so I had the right number of strands to the weight and the thickness needed for the 8mm hook. There was a bit of switching about, because some of the yarn was thicker than some of the others. It's just what happens when you're going between different brands. I did try originally to make the entire yarn before I started crocheting, but it just all ended up getting tangled. So I switched to just adding the new threads when I needed to. It just worked out a whole lot easier. Alright, it's time to assemble. So I've got my center done, and I've got all my leaves. I really think this last one came out the prettiest, just because the pink actually kept going all the way down. I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see that, where the others have definitely got more of a divide on the pink. So I'm going to try and make sure that this petal is nice and prominent. Okay. And here we are, finished piece. Bees attached there. I'm very happy with it. So that's all that's left to do now, is get some pictures done and get it up onto Ribbler.